It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be podsmacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Who is this guy? This is Jared Carter, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the air right now. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rob. Nice to see you.
This is very cool. Jared, this is the first time that you've been to my house. Kind of exciting. Well, I mean, conscious.
Oh, right.
You knew.
Was there a time that well, we did that remote down the street the one time, and then I woke up in the alleyway.
No. Well,
with
there was a time.
my shirt was. I just
listen,
distinctly remember that the buttons were off kilter. I went, how did I miss that button loop? And then
I just read the police report, and I knew you were found with a dog collar. I mean, who the hell does that? And I remember that you didn't remember the 72 hours before, which coincided with Kel being out of town.
Right.
I don't know if these things came together properly or what.
Well, I'm here now. That's my set now. I'm here.
I mean, you're not back. You're
I'm here for the first time. And you've been plying me with alcohol.
Yes, I have.
You bought me a six-pack of Boulevard Wheat.
In Vino Veritas, my brother. Wow. It has been a long time.
Yeah.
Since I left November the 21st. I barely remember this. November the 21st, 2016 at 7:38 a.m. But I barely remember it. But it was funny because your voice is back. Because 4 months before I left the radio, you lost your voice. And it just never came back.
I know. So
what the hell? What was it? Was it laryngitis? I mean, what the hell?
It was a management decision inflicted sickness that affected my vocal cords.
I looked in the other room, and you're like going,
I'm here.
Nothing, and there's not. I couldn't even acknowledge it because you didn't have a voice.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So
yeah, it's topsy-turvy a couple of months for the J-Man because I've since found myself hired and then fired.
Welcome to it. Welcome to it.
Very short amount of time.
Sam is already on the line watching the podcast. Sam, what's up, my brother? Sam is the dude that is coming up with all the new logos for I'm doing a T-shirt line.
Yeah.
All right. Now
I saw some of the pictures. They're good.
It's cool. I tried the lingerie line for toddlers. Did not go over as well as I thought. I'm like, come on.
There's some problems with that. Yeah.
Listen, my son plays catch with me. Why can't my daughter wear lingerie at 2 years old like my wife?
Yeah, with the juicy on the ass.
I don't know. What the hell?
Yeah.
Or pink?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Pink right up on there.
So
that's fine.
Anyway, there's that. Before we go any further, though, I want to apologize for the last couple of months because you've had to deal with the onslaught of thousands, 10,000s of people saying, where is Rob Carson? I mean, where is Rob? It must have been hell. It must have been hell. Walking through the crowd in the morning, you're going to work.
Yeah.
And the people there with the banners and the signs, and they're going, where's Rob Carson? Right. I'm sorry. I didn't want to address them. I just wanted to fade away.
Yeah, the phone calls kind of died off after about an hour and a half. But that was a tough hour and a half.
Well,
what a difficult hour and a half that was to deal with the where's Rob? Oh, he's no longer here. Oh, okay, good. And then click. And then I went, oh, okay. And then, I went on with my job.
People are busy, though. I mean, people are busy, so obviously the prayers are coming in. The prayers are, God, we miss you, Rob. There was
I'm sure that's what it was.
I didn't see that on my Facebook page.
Yeah, but the phone calls just totally dried up. Yeah, there's not a lot of, you were just gone. It was fine.
Really?
It seemed to be.
Really?
I mean, we carried on, I suppose. Look, this is the Midwest, man. Oregon Trail. We picked it up. We soldiered on. We kept on forging on west.
That's great.
Except for us. We stayed here. I went to Westport.
That's neat.
Uh-huh.
So,
how have you been, Rob? What have you been doing here? You have this whole podcast set up here. You got a microphone here that I can adjust.
Well, that's not a microphone. That's a camera.
Camera while I'm talking to the microphone. I adjusted. Did I mention that you plied me with alcohol? I never broadcast buzzed before. But,
I know.
Oh, and I just knocked it off. And I maybe broke it.
Jesus God. 1.5 boulevards. I mean, honestly, it really isn't that bad. No, there you go.
There we go.
Dude.
I got it. There we go. It's good.
Tilt it up.
Little delay on that.
I don't want to see your...
you don't want to see my
there we
manly...
go.
Yeah, there we go. It looks good.
Now, the big deal. I mean, you kind of schooled me to some degree on podcasting. You told me it was a way of the future and everything, and all that. And I was like, oh, no, you idiot. I mean, obviously, terrestrial radio.
It's going to live forever. That's what you said.
A small AM signal and a translator FM signal. Come on. How could this fail? How could this fail? You have contractual obligations, so I won't have you comment on that. But the great thing about, I'm just going to go ahead because this may be your first time podcasting, even though I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this for a while.
I know.
Since
this
November.
Is episode 51 for you?
This is 51.
51.
Give me some right here.
Good job. Congratulations.
But honestly, I mean, you could say some things that you wouldn't say on terrestrial radio.
What can I say?
There was the words that you can say.
Balls.
Not exactly what I was thinking. There's bigger words.
Nuts.
No, there's like a bigger. I mean, there's like
testicles.
No.
What do I say?
Not what I'm looking for exactly. There's a big word. There's a big word that you can say on podcasting. You can't say tallywhacker. It's not exactly. I mean, you're in the right direction. There is a word. Mm-hmm. I won't make a big deal out of it, because I think we all. Pardon me, Jared. Don't want to leave this out. Kind of a veteran at podcasting now. Kind of a veteran at podcasting now.
Oh, right.
I mean, there's some big words that you and I know I can say, but Jared, even though he's kind of a young guy, doesn't realize that you and I can share on the podcast tonight.
Okay, good.
It's a word that starts with the letter F.
We can say naughty words here.
You can say it now. So there you go. It's very liberating.
That would be uncouth.
It's very liberating for you.
You want me to drop a bomb?
Sure.
You know what? Fuck that, Rob.
No! Whoa!
I'm not going to curse on here for your amusement. What am I, a dancing monkey?
Pretty much.
Do I have to drop something in the swear jar now?
I have some peanuts in there.
Oh, okay. All right. So you have the whole setup here.
Yes.
I see that. It's very similar to your previous setup on the terrestrial radio station. You have your show prep out here.
Yes.
You have your computer monitors here.
Yes.
You've got a bank over there with some technical things that I'm not sure what those mic processors over there. You've got what is that underneath that? The Zephyr. You got a ISDN capabilities.
No, doesn't work anymore.
What happened to that?
I have a thing called a Comrex brick.
Okay.
That literally I can connect any station in the country in a millisecond.
Yeah.
So if I go to KMOX in St. Louis, WLS Chicago, whatever, boom, I'm on the radio.
That's good.
It's kind of cool.
Good quality too.
The Zephyr is called an ISDN line, and it's for sale now. If you'd like to buy it.
Kind of phase that technology out.
Okay. But let's get into some other stuff here.
Sure.
Because you have been preaching the gospel of podcasting for a while.
Yeah.
You will notice that I have been dragged kicking and screaming into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned a great deal. And I mean, how did you find this? You were amazing. How did you find the time to do the show at KCMO while you're listening to my podcast every day?
Oh,
numerous times. Numerous times.
It was difficult to soldier.
I know. I don't blame you.
I didn't realize.
I mean, I know I'm a Adam Carolla, maybe a little better, whatever.
I have been following you. Over the past couple of. I really have been. I did. You have Darla J on twice, I believe.
Yes. Darla was good.
I listened to one. I thought about listening to the other one, but I made it through time number one, and I'm going to come back to that one. I'm going to bookmark it, and I'm going to go back and listen to Darla J Part 2.
But here's the thing about podcasting, and I've learned a lot about it, and you preached to me a lot about podcasting because you're a big podcasting fan.
Sure.
And listen, I wasn't willing to poo-poo it. I was not meaning to. Here's the thing: when I was let go from the radio station I was at. I should have started podcasting previously, although the show was podcast and is available right now online. But there is a marriage that is going to happen between terrestrial radio and podcasting. It's got to happen. And terrestrial radio has to see it coming because there are people like you're a millennial. My son, he doesn't listen to radio.
Yeah.
He doesn't tune it. FM. What's on the FM? Let me search for a station. Doesn't happen.
Well, the adage that was shared with me by one of our old bosses that may or may not have had a debilitating pill addiction, who shall not be named. Nice guy, though. I liked him. I always liked him.
Let me see. We were together for about 2 years, so that could have been 20 people.
That's true. But the guy, a little bit older
Yes,
guy, probably in his 60s, he told me once, he said, well, Jared, as long as that sounds like him, right?
Yeah,
people don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
It's just an inside joke for Rob and I. But he said, well, Jared, as long as there are people driving around in cars, there'll be radio.
No.
No, that's not the case because everybody's car now, any new car now just syncs up to your phone.
Yeah.
So I can get into a new car and I can, with the tap of 2 buttons, put my podcast on through my speakers or put my Spotify playlist on through my speakers. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way of technology. I mean, that adage used to be true. Yes, as long as people are driving around in their cars, they're going to turn the radio on. And I still listen to terrestrial radio quite a bit. I love terrestrial radio in addition to podcasts. But you have to see the writing on the wall.
I get bored as shit with terrestrial radio. Sorry, dude. I get bored as shit with it.
Well, so the one advantage that I think terrestrial has is it is localized. It's hyper local. So I can't get Kansas City-centric podcasts, or there are not a lot of Kansas City. There are some out there. There's Pine Tar Press. Most of them sports-related, I noticed. But the immediacy of and the localization and the ability to react, that's one thing that terrestrial radio has over podcasting right now.
I got you.
The conversations, though, the long-form conversations and the freedom, and you don't have to be looking over your shoulder. 4 minutes. Hang on. Where's the timer? We got a break. We got another 4 minutes coming back up here. Okay, we do a 2.5-minute segment. Then we have a 4-minute break. Traffic and weather. Hang on. I mean, you're just constantly looking around like, what time is it? Because you have to break at certain moments in terrestrial radio. The freedom of podcasting is very nice.
It is. And like I said earlier, when it comes to music stations, you are listening to music in your car. You're listening to a station like whatever, Jim FM, that plays all music and all that.
Yeah.
All you have there is a glorified Pandora channel with a lot of commercials and traffic and shit you don't need.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, the reason why I switched to talk radio is because you can't get me anywhere else. I'm not saying that other media outlets want to have me, but you cannot reproduce me.
That part's clear, Rob.
Thank
you don't have to quantify that.
And dear God, if they ever decide to reproduce me, which I doubt, I think they'll just bury me and burn my DNA. But that's what it is. It is about creating a destination. Let me ask you, as a podcaster, and you're a young guy. We have been apart for a long time. This November. How old are you now, by the way? I mean, I haven't seen you forever. Like, how old are you? Like 35?
I'm 30. Yeah.
You're still 30?
I saw you a few months ago.
You're still 30.
Yeah,
God dang, it's been a long time.
I age one day at a time.
You look older. You look older with the facial hair, and
that's because I'm doing a lot of drinking and smoking of cigarettes. I did look at old pictures of myself from high school. Somebody, what's that thing? Time Hop or something?
What?
I've had a Facebook now for, I don't know, 8 years or so. Somebody shared pictures of 8 years ago. I have definitely changed, like my face. Like I guess it's just going to be more. See, you don't look bad. You don't have wrinkles. How's it possible?
I look terrible.
You're a 50-year-old man. You have no wrinkles.
No, I look terrible. I have gained weight since I got off the air. I look terrible.
Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to gain weight.
Gain some weight.
Because you gain weight and it's like overinflating a balloon, right? It stretches out.
Here's the thing.
I'm skinny and just wrinkled. I'm going to look like the crypt keeper by the age of 45.
Are you still smoking?
Off and on.
Okay.
More on than off lately.
All right.
Well, lecture me now?
Unfortunately, I haven't. No, I don't care. You smoke. I would rather have you live a shorter amount.
Can we ventilation in this room? What do we have here?
I don't give a shit. My children be like, "What the hell? Is the house burning down? What is that?" They've never smelled tobacco smoke before. They never have.
I'm the last generation of people that will smoke, right? Nobody after, right? There's nobody that's under the age of 30 that's smoking.
No. I mean, I'll have a cigar, but even then I gave that up when my son was born.
We have to be 21 to buy cigarettes now. And lawmakers did that specifically because the data says that most smokers, statistically, you start before the age of 18.
You would have been so proud of me.
I started at 17.
You did, okay. We went to KU Day, junior day at KU for my son.
Uh-huh.
And we're sitting there in this group of, potential students and this guy up in front. And he asked the question. He goes, so you're in the prom planning. Like, what do you need to consider when you're planning a prom? And the guys up there's like, asking kids in the audience, what the theme should be, what the music should be. And I kind of under my breath said, where we're going to get our alcohol. And the whole audience went nuts. And I'm like, I'm the worst dad ever. Don't get me wrong. But still, it was kind of funny. But no, my kids, listen, none of my kids, they might consider weed.
Yeah.
Not tobacco, dude.
As a parent, how do you feel about that? Would you rather them smoke cigarettes with regularity or smoke marijuana occasionally?
I don't care if they want to smoke marijuana occasionally. I'm not a big...
You don't want a habitual user. No. I have friends who, sort of friends of friends who are habitual users, and I'm a pretty lax, libertarian, pro-pot guy.
Me too.
That's the kind of substance, though. I mean, it's just like if you had a buddy that was drinking every day. You got to say, hey, this has become...
Slow down.
Right, and I think the same thing with marijuana. In fact, the marijuana advocates, they've taken it so far the other direction, where it's just a plant, man, it's benign. No, it definitely does something.
Oh, no.
It alters you, and it can lead to a lack of creativity, a lack of ambition. I sound like a stodgy old man now.
But you will never feel better as you do nothing.
True. And I love doing nothing, but I like to get things accomplished and then do nothing, right? And I think I've known people that don't do that. They'll wake up and do it. And you go, no. It's a plant, yes, but you can't be people get their just brains blasted out immediately on this one substance.
And it gets very nasty. And let me tell you something. You haven't heard this.
What?
My son is very honest with my wife. And Will is a great kid. He's 17. You got to see him, man. You haven't seen him in a couple months.
No.
He is a stud. He is just a brilliant kid.
Big kid.
Tall. And he was going to run for class president, and he would have been a shoo-in. But there was a girl there who's got a 4-point whatever grade point average, and he said, you know what? She deserves it more than I do. So I will run for treasurer, even though he has an overdrawn account at Commerce. But he didn't want to take it from her because he thought she was more qualified. But a couple years ago, he was in Maryland. And he didn't feel like he could tell me that he smoked weed. Because he's with his friends, and they're 15, 16 years old. And they passed him the Dutchie. And he took it, and he goes, and he told my wife, he said, you know what? I tried it, Mom. It smelled like green beans. It tasted like green beans. I didn't like it, right? Whatever. And I was like, okay, I wish he could have shared it with me. He thought I was going to deliver the heavy hand. But that's what happened. And he told her. Then, like a month ago, he's with friends. They pass him the butt. He has some booze. He ends up puking in the garbage can all night.
Oh.
So I'm like, am I going to be the cool dad? Am I going to say, thank you for being here tonight? Because his friends, we had some, stuff. They decided to stay here. All right? So I didn't contact their parents. I just said, you can stay here, but this ain't going to happen again. What would you as a parent do?
Well, first of all, I'd make fun of my son for being a pussy, for being such a lightweight. Vomiting at the age? He's a big, brawny guy. No. Was it your son or another kid?
My son.
No.
My son, all 6'2", 220 pounds.
No. The first thing you need to do is condition. Strength and conditioning is what we call that. All right. You get the vodka IV bag, and then whenever he starts to seem sick, you squeeze it, and then it's going to go, and then you go, no, and then you let up on the bag, right? So the vodka IV is the first one. No, I don't know what you do in that situation. I'm horrified. I have a young child, and in 10 years, I'll be dealing with these things myself, these conundrums. I think that part of being a parent is being a little stodgy. Now, you're much more...
I've got to be.
Yeah, but you're just a friendly, kind of affable guy in general. Yeah. So I think that's difficult for you. Now, I am much more curmudgeonly. Even now, my relationship with my son, I'm very stern.
When it comes to the relationship with your kid and food.
Yes.
You are a Nazi.
I'm very.
You would never. No, you would never consider Fruit Loops.
No, God, no. That's just a bowl of sugar. I tell him, he knows too. He says, can I have this? Or is that, Brody said to me, he's 6. He said to me the other day, can I have this? Or is this too many carbs? I said, Brody, that's a whole bowl of carbs. No, we're not going to have that. It was the
Why should a 6-year-old know what a carb is?
Because your body is a machine.
Dear
And
God, man.
cigarettes aside, I know that's not good fuel. Everything else. See, since I make that one bad choice in my life, everything else has to be clean living. So I eat very healthy. I try to eat as healthy as I can. I had vegetables today for lunch.
What about unprotected sex there, Brody? Hey, buddy, what about unprotected sex? Don't eat those Fruit Loops, but I'm going to go bang somebody right now.
No.
What?
Obviously, protection is the way to go. That's how he entered the world. Brody, do you want a little Brody? Do you want a Brody Jr.? Come on, we're going to practice safe.
No, with my kids.
You're going to be tough. You're not supposed to be their friend.
I'm not their friend.
My parents, I don't have friendships with my parents. I don't have any kind of relationship.
They don't like you very much. They don't like
you. They do not, actually.
They don't.
That is a fair statement. I'm just not their type of humor. The personality clashes.
By the way, Greg is watching. Barry is watching. Sam says, this is offensive. Sam, come on, man. You're my website designer. Get over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Get over yourself. Come on, man. This is unfiltered.
Oh, I can see myself over there.
I know. Look at you.
Oh, it is offensive.
Slightly delayed.
Offensively good looking. Look at that.
You are spectacular.
Look how handsome I am.
The hair looks really good.
Maybe I should get out of this radio thing. Radio's for the birds.
Meanwhile, I'm the pasty, bloated, unemployed guy.
Yeah.
Who looks a little like Bill Shatner. Not good.
No.
Not good.
Well, I'm unemployed too now, though. But at least I have my looks.
No, you'll look like Karen Carpenter when it's over. You will. I'm the opposite. I'll get bigger. You'll get smaller.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get smaller. So
how does this work? Are we being recorded into something simultaneous to the live feed going?
Right now we are live on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not recording on the software that I use to record the show because it takes up too much bandwidth.
Okay.
But I will dub it. Okay.
How does the dubbing work?
Spectacularly. Well, I'll
type it out by hand. There'll be a transcript that gets released online.
No. I have a wonderful software program right here, and I'm not going to open it right now. WavePad by NCH. You know what? Here's the deal. You may be 3 years my junior, but I have learned a lot.
21 years. Are you 21 years older than me?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
I don't know why I've never done that math before.
You are 21 years my junior.
You could legally drink in all 50 states when I was just a baby.
Thank you very much.
Actually, the drinking age was 18 back then. So
yes, it was.
You were
yes, it was.
Just shithouse wasted when I was born, no doubt.
But however,
mm-hmm.
even though you are this millennial who knows so much about podcasting, do you realize what there are several things you need to know about the podcasting experience?
I see. You have the whole setup.
You don't even know. Do you know how to podcast live on Facebook?
Oh, I don't know any of this.
2 cameras and microphones and the graphics.
My biggest folly as a human being, bro. People assume because you're young, you know how to do tech. But I think I'm in the exact wrong age, right? So I was born in the mid-'80s.
Yes.
The internet became a thing, but it became a thing when I was in high school, basically. So, and I did not go to a big school that even had all these resources that really plugged me into the computer world. So really, I was not a computer guy. I'm still not. I'm not a tech guy.
You probably don't know how to dress a hen either, I suppose.
I don't know how to do anything. I really think that people born in the mid-'80s are just the most worthless generation.
Change a tire.
I can change a tire.
Okay, all right.
All right, I can do that. But I'm not handy. I'm barely handy around the house. I'm just an absolute worthless. Just as a human being.
Now, let me ask you this. The millennial generation takes a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And it's weird because my son is 17.
Yes.
He considers himself to be a millennial. He is so far from you, dude.
Yeah.
And not in a negative way. He does not have the experiences that you do you're 35 now?
I'm 30.
It's been a while.
30.
Just 30?
Still 30.
You have nothing in common with the 17-year-old man.
No, I do not.
Did you watch Bear in the Big Blue House?
I have no idea what that is.
Elmo?
I'm familiar with Elmo, but that's because I have my own child. Elmo's a weird one because Elmo they started marketing after. Elmo's a good example though of the generation gap though because Sesame Street's obviously been around since I was a child, and now I have a child. Everything about Sesame Street is all Elmo, Elmo, Elmo. I think it's because Elmo's childlike, right? And he's not offensive. Because when I was younger, the biggest Sesame Street star, Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch. There is no Big Bird or Oscar the Grouch. I know they're still characters, but they're minor Sesame Street characters. It's all about Elmo. And somewhere along the way, somebody said, "Oh, this Oscar the Grouch, he's mean." They probably did a focus group, and kids got sad when Oscar the Grouch threw out insults.
They like him though.
Is
he gone now?
Oscar the Grouch is gone. That's my point. He's kind of in a background ancillary Sesame Street character, but it's all about Elmo. So I watched these new Sesame Streets with Brody because HBO has it now. So they're producing Sesame Street on HBO. It's all Elmo and then other characters there's a Hispanic Sesame Street character. I mean, that fits the changing demographics of the U.S., but still, it's very foreign to me. Even something that should be familiar. I have no connection to it.
Deanna says, "Love Jared." Okay, I'm going to go ahead and unfriend her.
How old is Deanna there?
Deanna, you know what? Jesus, you know what? You listen to me.
Let's click on Deanna's profile.
You bitch.
When does she have a baby?
Yeah, she's got a kid.
Well, all right.
All right, you know
she's active.
All right. But as far as...
Thank you, Deanna.
Let's get back to
yeah.
your generation versus mine. You were the first generation, and maybe I'm wrong. I was the last generation for a few things. No bike helmet.
Mm-hmm.
No sunscreen.
Mm-hmm.
No, only 3 channels on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Very rudimentary video games.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Space Invaders. Maybe that's
Pong.
Pong. Thank you very much. Abacuses. We were really... Did you remember that? You weren't there?
No, I wasn't there.
You missed the abacus?
I guess I missed out on abacus.
Solar-powered abacus?
Wow.
Were there? Because then it became the solar power calculator. You weren't there for the solar power abacus?
I don't know what's real and what's not now, to be honest. This is a generational thing, maybe. Your humor is also wildly different than mine. Our humor... worlds apart.
But there are some things that separate us greatly.
Yeah, but that's any generation, though. I sound like a stodgy old man now. That's any generation. You know what my son was doing today? Walking around the house with an iPad. And he's playing some game on it. I don't play games, but he's playing some game. It's like Blockcraft.
No, Minecraft.
Yeah, but he said this was, I'm almost positive he said Blockcraft.
My daughter is in a Minecraft.
It looked like that thing.
And
right? So everything squares.
And all this shit.
And he's building houses and stuff.
It is the best. Don't be afraid of it.
Okay.
Don't be afraid of it.
Well, I just don't have time to get sucked into a game.
Midget porn. Don't be afraid of it, Darren. Don't be afraid. But Minecraft is brilliant because it'll keep your kids so hyper engaged. It's like building Lego on the web.
Yeah, that's what I did. Because he showed it to me. I said, this is like Legos except on a screen.
Let him do it.
No, I told him to turn it off and go up and play real Legos. I said, what the hell's the matter with you, Brody? I bought you $45 worth of Legos for your birthday. Go up and play with that. That's one set, by the way, $45.
At the expense of everything. Please let him do that. Even to the expense, you can drink while he goes play Minecraft. You need to do that. Just kidding. No, but as far as Minecraft, I get it with the Legos, but it is a really cool thing for your kids to learn.
Okay, all right.
I could be wrong.
But I digress.
But you're going to spend a lot less on Minecraft than buying the gosh darn Lego Star Destroyer for $250.
Oh, we went to the Lego store in the Oak Park Mall. They have a whole Lego store in the Oak Park Mall. I know. I never go down to the Oak Park Mall.
Dude.
I don't live in this part of town. So, in fact, this is a rare Overland Park appearance for the J-Man being out in Overland Park right now. No, but we went to yesterday. I got my I had to get my glasses repaired at the Lens Crafters. So while I was waiting the 30 minutes it took, we walked to the Lego store. They had a full-on old Batman set, like the old Batman, like not Adam West era Batman. Yeah, they've done like a recreation of that TV show, that 60s TV show, all in Lego form. So then the Lego Alan West Batman era Joker set and Penguin and all. Really cool looking set. It was $250. $250 for a Lego set. No, thank you. Of course, that was the one Brody gravitated toward. Of all the Legos, he went, that's the one I want. I went, well, good luck on that.
Jared, when I was employed,
and
there have been several times that I've not been, we have at least $2,000 of Lego stuff downstairs.
No, I have the big tubs,
Yeah. Lee is on the line. Lee, hello, my friend. Welcome. Robert Jandorf. Do you remember him in Lord of the Rings?
Robert
Jandorf.
Jandorf.
Do you remember Jandorf?
Is he the guy that got shot with the arrow and then fell off the thing? Okay.
And they rode and they rode and they rode and they fought with the sword.
Yeah.
And Robert Jandolf was the dude, or Jandorf.
Thank you.
Deanna also. Paul Ciappa. My friend Paul Ciappa is watching tonight. Paul Ciappa, you have no idea. He's a stud. He is a major supporter of the veterans, and he also is a major supporter of mine. He wasn't a big fan of yours, but he's really loved my show. And he listened despite the fact you were on there.
Yeah.
You know, it happens. It happens. You know.
You know what, Paul? You can get the hell out of here. Get lost.
So
I want to get back to what we were talking about, with the tablets. Though.
Go.
Because it dawned on me as I'm watching my son play this. You say Minecraft. I swear he's
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Oh, no. It's Minecraft.
He called it Blockcraft. I'm positive. Is Blockcraft a thing?
He's 6.
That's true. I don't know why I take the word of a 6-year-old like it's gospel.
It's Minecraft.
All right.
Bring my daughter down here. She'll school you, man.
I'm going to look this up and see if Blockcraft's a thing. The point
Blockcraft is not a deal. I'll look it right now.
He's walking around with an iPad, though.
Yeah.
And that's something that I could never do. So I know that your generation had 3 channels, but that's my version of the 3 channels.
Minecraft. There it is. That's it.
There's no such thing as Blockcraft?
I'll look up Blockcraft.
I feel like
Blockcraft. Man, you sound older than me.
I'm just saying it's what he called it. I distinctly remember what he called it. All right, this is great. This is good podcasting, Rob. I don't know.
Well, you know what? With podcasting,
Blockcraft 3D building game. Yeah, see, it's a. That must be what it is. Minecraft, Blockcraft must be like a. Yeah, that's it right there.
All right, so he did Blockcraft.
So, but it's made by the Minecraft people, right?
So you're saying my 11-year-old daughter is passé already?
Yes. It's all about Blockcraft. I think Blockcraft is just Minecraft for your. It must be Minecraft for your tablet device. But I didn't have tablets, so I'm looking at my son in the same way that you would look at me, going, when I was young.
Yeah.
I didn't have cable TV, but the people that were born in the mid '80s grew up around cable. Yeah. That's how I'm looking. When I was young, we didn't have tablets. Now, my brother, and by the way, my son, everything is on demand. He doesn't understand what channels even are. Channels are a thing of the past.
I know.
I don't have cable. I've never had cable. I mean, since for the last 10 years, I haven't had cable. As an adult, I've never bought cable.
You know,
I have Netflix. I have Amazon Prime. I have things like that.
When did you do that?
You can stream all that.
When did you do that?
I've been doing that for years.
Dude.
5-6 years. So I've had a Netflix. At least 6 years I've had a Netflix account.
I am 100 years old.
Yeah.
Because we are just now dropping DirecTV.
Yeah, get rid of that.
Dude,
get Amazon.
We have Amazon. We have HBO Go.
HBO Go.
We have Netflix. We have there's the bestiality site that my wife doesn't know about.
Pornhub Premium.
Anyway, but we are just now getting rid of it. It's so, God, are you kidding me? We are getting rid of DirecTV because it's $250 a month.
Wow.
That's stupid.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
What do you watch?
I watch just whatever.
You watch HGTV, say it.
I do like HGTV.
You do.
And they pulled a bunch of the HGTV shows off of Netflix recently.
Those sons of
which
bitches.
is very sad. Very, very sad moment for Noah.
Sons of bitches.
I know. They had the House Hunters and they had Fixer Upper. And I know last time I logged on, it could be back. I don't know. The thing about Netflix are things come and go.
I know.
So they have contracts. They did have HGTV on there for a while, though.
By the way.
No more.
Amy Schumer's new comedy show.
What's that, on Netflix?
On Netflix.
Not good?
Like 1 out of 10.
I don't like Amy Schumer.
See, I liked her HBO Uncensored. It was pretty funny.
Okay.
And then she just became kind of a douche.
She's a character of herself now.
She thinks she's okay. She thinks she's greater than she is.
Well.
And she did this thing. She was dressed. She was trying to do an Eddie Murphy, delirious, leather-clad thing. And she's not funny. She's not that funny.
Is this in the show or in the special?
The Netflix special.
Oh, so wait, she doesn't have a show. She has a stand-up special.
On Netflix, yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you're judging her stand-up? Stand-up's just
her stand-up was good on HBO, but this thing on Netflix was terrible. It was a turd. And it's like you, Jared. I mean, sometimes you're really funny. Most of the time, not so much.
Yeah.
You have to realize. that sometimes you're funny. Most of the time, not so much.
I feel like most of the time. I feel like today's an off day, though. Could have something to do with the fact that I'm unemployed. Exceptionally sad. There's just a sadness. There's like a hole right now.
No. Listen, Robert
Yeah.
Jandorf, who is a Lord of the Rings character,
Robert Janendorf, will you hire me? I will do anything.
says, did you get fired, Jared? Why?
Yeah, I got fired. Do people not know? I guess I should say I got let go last week.
Why?
That's true. It's only been a week. So there's probably plenty of people who listen to our former radio station, KCMO. KCMO let me go middle of last week.
Yes.
So here I am officially. Today marks 1 week of unemployment, and I haven't really done much for the last week.
No. Drinking?
Not really. No, not really. I don't turn to booze when I'm sad.
Workout?
I've been walking a lot.
Sex with people you don't know?
No.
Really?
No, I don't.
You didn't swipe right on anybody on Tinder?
I don't have a lot of self-destructive behaviors.
Really?
Despite how people perceive me. I'm a very even-keeled, measured guy. And as such, that's why I have not for the last, I don't know what do we call it? I don't know, last couple of years. What are you doing there? You're distracting me with your paper rustling.
Well, because I have a new study here.
I'm an even-keeled guy, to put a button on that.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
And I try to not fly off the handles, even in moments of great distress.
You got to relish, being down. You got to listen to blues music and get drunk.
No.
Really? Really? New study says online dating causes people to lower their standards. You should be kicking ass right now.
Really?
You've got to be getting some serious ass right now. If online dating causes people to lower their standards, you should be getting so much. I mean, wow. I mean, are they lining up?
No, they are not.
They're not.
I've been dating somebody though that I met offline. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've been dating her for a couple of months now.
Offline.
I met her. I've been dating her offline. Yes.
You're a millennial. I mean, how do you?
I met her on
other than
online.
How do you meet people?
Dating application.
Did you meet her in outer space?
I've met her on the internet. Which is how people meet.
You didn't meet her in person at a bar?
I met her in person at a bar after we set it up online off the internet. The internet is the way it's. What are you doing to kids these days on me again? Is this a generational thing?
Of course I am.
Why can't you meet people online? What's the problem meeting people online?
Here's the deal. When my wife and I started dating,
there was no internet.
I intercepted the telegraph, and I got in touch with her. No, but okay. How do you meet people now? You don't meet them out at bars. You don't meet them out at what? How do you met this people, person on the what? I don't what.
I've met people at bars. It's fine. You can do that. But I find that the internet is better than meeting somebody out at a bar.
What are your chances of getting an STD better as? On the internet or at a bar?
You're so crass. So crass. You're taking this podcasting thing in the toilet direction, Roberto.
I'm curious. I'm curious about it.
No, I think people are too hard. I think people your age are too hard on online dating.
Gotcha.
Because you can meet people and you can actually have a conversation that is not under the dim bar lighting and is not under the pressure of, the bar's closing in the next 30 minutes.
Gotcha.
We got to make something happen or not happen. You can actually take your time with it. You message somebody, you match somebody, you can converse, admittedly via text message. But then from there, you kind of have an idea of who this person is before you even meet them the first time.
Oh,
it's nice.
No, I get it. You can meet someone through, and listen, conversation is very important.
Absolutely, especially for somebody like me. Because I have to talk for a while before my personality shines because I'm kind of prickly and not very interesting.
Oh, no.
Unless you get me going. And then it's good.
But if you, way off the subject, I mean, it's very fascinating. And I'm glad, and my wife and I have been married since 1998. I know, I'm ancient.
Yeah.
But let me ask you
Before I went to high school. 98 was.
Thank you very much.
Went to school in 2000.
Let me ask you this. Have you have to have a legitimate thought that this could be a really cool person before you meet them. So maybe you're weeding out some folks. So I'm not going to go to the cliched, I met a psycho when I met that person out. When you meet the person you've eventually kind of found online, you're not terribly disappointed. They're not dangerous or weird.
No, yeah, I think it's an argument in the favor of online dating because, yes, you can weed people out much easier. I mean, you meet somebody out at a bar. Who the hell are you meeting? Who is this person, right? Or you meet even somebody in a class, college. Think of the young. Oh, we're college sweethearts. We met each other in a class. You don't know who that person is really. You sit next to them in an economics class, and then you just hope that maybe you're going to have some compatibility when you go out. This way, you really do have actual conversational compatibility.
What
I think
did you ever think about that woman named Roberta that you were getting texts from Overland Park? Did you ever like that person?
Okay. I deleted that profile immediately.
But no, you know what? I actually have. I'm very lucky because my wife and I skipped this. Although it's kind of weird because I met her. She was the promotions director and receptionist at the radio station.
Well, she was oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
She was in radio?
Yeah.
Front desk.
Yeah.
And you would come in every day and go on to your hotshot radio job?
No. I'd call the general manager who I wanted to be hired by, and she would answer the phone.
You started macking on it.
Of course I did. So is that narrowing the group of candidates? Because I think she's damn cool.
No,
I got a great wife.
Right.
I got lucky.
That was you being a horn dog,
Of course.
and then it just worked out. I mean, and God bless, Mazel Tov. I'm so glad that it did work out. But that's what that was. I mean, you were just, let's face facts, you were just interested in her in a physical sense.
Yes.
And then, God bless it worked out.
But do you feel that we have, and listen, we meet people now, and you're still in Kansas City, right?
Yes.
You're not going to Taiwan. You're not saying meeting somebody who's in Singapore.
Not yet.
Oh, thanks for loading,
But
sweet.
you are
Ooh,
saying
done.
that I might be happy with someone in Kansas City. I was happy with meeting someone at the reception desk and as a promotion director, who's a hot piece of ass, by the way. And that became my person. Did I narrow my chances, or did I find my what is the soulmate? Soulmate. Jared, if you found your soul, I know you're a big believer in this soul.
I don't believe it. I actually said this to the girl that I'm dating now. I said, I don't think I believe in true love. And she went, what? And I said, I'm not even sure I believe in love in general, really. I think that there's attachments and there's...
Well, that's going to get you a second date.
That's what she...
That's going to get you laid.
I said this
Bravo.
months into the relationship. What are the odds that your soulmate is going to be within a 10-mile radius of where you happen to be at any moment? But everybody finds their soulmate magically in whatever town or city they're in. I mean, what if my soulmate lives in Botswana right now? What, I'm just screwed? I just never meet my soulmate? That's ridiculous.
There she is with the flies around her eyes. No.
If you logically think about it, it's not, there's no soulmate.
You can find somebody you love.
There are people that you are compatible with on a personal level. Everything in life is interpersonal communications.
Of course.
And the Myers-Briggs shows you this. That there's basically 16 basic personality types, and there's variants of each one of those. So call it 32 different personality types. So every single human being in the entire world can be put into one of those 32 boxes.
Are great tits a part of that?
Some of the...
Are great tits got to be a part of that?
That's not a personality. That's not personality.
Be a part of it.
I'm talking about something that... Right.
Okay, sorry.
But physical attractiveness is important as well. Yes, absolutely. You have to be physically attracted to the person, and that's usually the number one. You're physically attracted to somebody first, and then you find out after that whether or not your personalities are compatible with one another.
Are you interested in a lifelong commitment to someone?
And you're asking me?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, I want to settle down.
Is there someone interested in a lifelong commitment to you? I doubt it.
I will find that person at some point, I'm sure. It's a lid for every pot. But there is. I believe that.
What are the advantages?
The advantages to what? To settling down?
You as a 38-year-old. You're 38.
I'm 30.
God, it's been so
30
long.
Years old. Yep.
We're together.
A month or two.
But you as a 30-year-old man, what are the advantages of spending a life with someone to you who, and I know you because you're not a religious person.
No, I'm not.
What's the point? Why do you want to be with possibly somebody for the rest of your life?
Well, hold on. I mean, you're painting with...
Unless she's really rich. God, you've got to find some rich piece of ass, Jared. Come on, dude. You're 30. You can still do this.
Compatibility is very important to me. I have the same friends that I've had for 15 years or so, right? So my personality, I derive a lot of pleasure out of long-term relationships, not just romantic ones, but just personal friendships
Except
as
for
well.
radio people.
No.
You will never
Churn and burn, though.
With a radio company, you will never have a long-term relationship.
No, you do not.
Not going to happen. Yeah.
I was in Cumulus, Kansas City for 4.5 years.
Holy crap!
That's a long time.
That's gigantic.
It's a long time to not get
Who
fired.
did you have to sleep with that? My God in heaven.
It was just my turn. My turn to get fired. Oh, Rob, what the hell am I going to do? I keep reminding myself. I got fired, Rob. I have no job. I'm sitting here just wildly unemployed.
Here's the deal.
Is anybody listening on there? What was the lady with the baby? Does she need a nanny or something?
Jandorf, Sam, Bill, Wanda.
Wanda, do you need
Jared is a very...
I'll come over and clean your house, Wanda.
Wanda, you could get some more out of this.
Wanda's logged off.
It might be a little bit...
I just said I was in a relationship, though. But Wanda, I'll do something on the side. Don't worry.
You could clean her pool.
Yeah.
Pool season's coming up.
I'd be a great pool boy. Can I take my shirt off for this? I'll take my shirt off.
All right, do it. Here we go.
You've had this.
You know what? You know what? You did this once with me on the radio, and I don't want to see this. I don't want to see you with
I took my shirt off.
Darn it, Jared.
I took my pants off in front of Mike one time.
Yes, you did.
Mike was wildly.
Bastard.
Yeah.
My God in heaven. My God in heaven. Let's get back to the subject of. All right, I'm going to take my pants off. No, let's get back to the subject of podcasting.
Yeah.
And radio in general. You have podcasts that you and listen. I just started podcasting a couple months ago. I'm up to episode 50. This is episode 51. Make sure to download it on libsyn.com. But as far as podcasting is concerned, what is appealing to you? What makes you go, holy crap, I want to listen to that dude? I know that we talked earlier in the kitchen about, Joe
Rogan.
Joe Rogan. There are some of the things that make you want to listen to it, and part of the things you're like, I don't give a crap. But his persona, his podcast is enough to make you interested enough to be able to wave off the shit you're not interested in.
Sure.
So what about podcasting? What do you like about podcasting versus listening to terrestrial radio or the media?
Well, there's different ways to go about doing your podcast, right? So you can go the more traditional radio, just online route.
Yeah.
Or you can do the biggest example of that, Adam Carolla basically does a radio show. He just does it on a podcast.
Yes.
But it has the same beats and measures as a radio show does, right? He has a voice guy, has an intro song. He comes in, does a segment, second segment, comes and brings a guest in. So it follows the familiar beats of a traditional terrestrial radio show. Joe Rogan does not do that. He does the long form interviews where you're just talking to somebody.
See, I like
but
that.
He'll go 4 hours with one, but you have to have somebody more interesting than myself. You have to have somebody very interesting.
Yeah, we would have cut that off an hour ago.
How long have we been going? I feel like we've been going forever.
It's been a while.
There's no way anybody's listening to
Way
this.
too long.
Nobody's
Actually,
listening.
we have 200 people listening right
No, good deal. Well,
Not too bad.
Sorry to.
It's bigger than KCMO.
No comment there. But that's basically your avenues there. So you can choose to do something more traditional radio, or you can do the long form interviews. But long form interviews, you got to have interesting people.
And also, I might mention this.
Oh, there are people that do solo shows as well. I know you've been doing it solo.
Nobody is that interesting. Nobody is that interesting that they're going to give you 4 hours every day.
Right.
Your wife won't give you 4 hours. your kids won't give you 4 hours, Jared. My podcast I do right now is 30 minutes. And that's more than you should probably give people. If you look at the time spent listening on talk radio, if you get 10 minutes a day,
yeah,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, but you see,
I do 30 minutes, and that's just if anyone would donate or give 30 minutes to my show, it would be an unbelievable gift out of your life cycle to listen to half an hour of this douchebag. It's gigantic. Rogan is great. You can come back. You can tune in, whatever. Don't ever expect that people are going to listen to you that long during the day.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, you've got to see, but part of the reason that radio time spent listening is so small is because it's confined to people's commutes to and from work.
Yeah.
You don't have that same constraint in podcasting. So, see, you're still thinking about podcasting as if it's traditional radio. You could go longer, and people would give you more time. Because think about, here's how I listen to podcasts. I start and I stop it. So it'll take me 2 or 3 days to get through 1 3-hour podcast, but I'll listen to every single word.
You want to hear more. You want to hear more.
I'll listen to every word of it if it's interesting. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, I got to go 30 minutes. You could go an hour and a half. if people like what you're on iTunes now, right? I saw you
I'm working on it.
Well, you got to get on iTunes so people can get you on your Stitcher or on your smartphone device, and then you can start and stop it whenever the hell you want.
I know where you're coming.
You also need to flip these cameras, by the way. It looks like I'm looking over into the wall and you're looking over into your Facebook profile.
I'll do it.
How do we swap those cameras around?
Just watch.
Oh, yeah.
See how smart I am?
It was as simple as that?
Yeah.
Look, now the illusion is that we're talking to each other.
Jared, how are you?
Look, yeah, see that? Look at that.
All you need is tell me. I didn't notice. It's the same thing with, I've noticed, porn. Literally, you can watch porn all day, but all you need is 1 minute.
Yeah.
All you need is
when you're ready to be done.
Is that better?
Yeah, I was just slapping your box there. Just slap your box. I like playing with the camera.
But the thing is, honestly, you only need a minute of the porn. I mean, you can search for hours. I mean, I've heard. I never.
The rest of it's just window dressing. Yes.
I never look at that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's when you're going on those long sessions. That's when you start doing the. I don't want to get too crass here and offend your listeners, but you kind of do that jogging in place move with your meat. And you're like, I'm just wasting time here.
Yeah,
just killing time. Got about a half hour before I have something to do. Just hanging out. But you don't want to just, you don't want to.
Oh, no, you got to find the sweet spot.
Right.
You got it. It's like golfing. You got to.
Can't go too hard. You can't go too soft.
You got to hold the club there, and you got to readjust the
just
club.
keeping it there.
And you just, God.
Yeah. I don't need anything out of you yet, but about 10 minutes, I'm going to be ready to wrap this up. That's what you're telling me.
Well, here's the thing. We've had over an hour on the radio, dear God, radio.
See, you're still thinking of this. You're still thinking of it.
Radio anymore.
Radio. Well,
so
God knows I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, well, both of us. We're pretty much unemployed. And by the way, you are covering my shift Monday morning at Payless. I didn't want to say anything, but
oh God, what the hell am I going to do, Rob?
I'm supposed to do the morning show at Payless. No, this has been really cool, and guys, I would encourage you to, if you like what you heard tonight, write me. Also, download the thing. I want to be putting it up on my website, which is Rob Carson Show. I have a website now.
Yeah,
Rob Carson Show.
I think
also,
anybody can have a website, though, right? Is there?
No. It's
I'm pretty sure that
it's very. Very rare.
Very low threshold for entry on that.
Rare. I
think you just have to register a domain.
Shut up.
You pay like $9 a year or something.
Facebook.com, which is Rob Carson Show. Okay. Again, part of an exclusive club.
Right.
Exclusive club. Anyway, guys, it's greatly you don't probably have a website, so I can't promote that now.
Should I get a website? I should start doing all that.
You might consider it because I'm doing it.
You can add me on Twitter, but I don't even tweet that much.
You could do like Jared Carter, desperate for a job, unemployed.com, something like that. I almost am. Because I've kind of moved beyond that because I've been out of work for like 4 months. So I have my own website. So I'll tag you.
Okay.
I'll tag you.
Thank you.
I'll tag you.
I was trying to get my Twitter handle out, but then no. I get Jared.
Do you want to do it? You have Twitter?
Jared L. Carter.
Jared L. Carter?
At Jared L. Carter. I'd use my middle initial because
I didn't even know
some basketball player in Kentucky.
Didn't even know you had a.
Yeah.
Wow, a Twitter. That's pretty.
So we pretty much just talked nonsense and wasted everybody's time for the last 55 minutes or so. Is that what I just saw? We didn't get to any news. No hot topics.
Not a thing.
No, that's about it.
I think we've covered it tonight. I think people should leave very satisfied with knowing what is going on with you and I since we left the airwaves at KCMO.
I feel like we didn't even talk about that very much though. We're friends. We're friendly. We get along. I'm trying to do a madcap.
Will you come back?
Yeah, I'll come back.
Will you come back?
Okay. Like, God knows I have nothing else going on.
Yeah,
sadly.
No
and in the meantime, if anyone wants to hire me to clean their pools, Wanda. Was there a woman named Wanda? How do you know when people are listening? It pops up on your thing.
Hold on real quick. Let me find out.
You can just see the
Seth, Justin, Bill.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Shout out to all that. They just liked it though. That doesn't mean they necessarily listen. So they
like it. They like it. They love it.
All right.
They love it.
Well, they better have listened.
All right. Well,
I'm going to add each and every one of them as Facebook friends later today, and then hit them up for jobs.
You could almost hit 12. That'd be huge. All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. It's great to have Jared on. He will be back. I'm going to gauge your reaction to see if he returns.
And it'll be better next time. I swear to God. I'll be less buzzed.
See you.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram. I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.